Everybody, everybody out there in TV land, my name is Richard Scrow, General Manager at Modern Sales Pros, and I'm really excited to be joined here with by Brandon Young from SetSale. Today, we're going to spend maybe 5 minutes just talking about some of the amazing insights that you can get from our State of Sales productivity survey that just came out. Brandon, really excited to have you here today.
Thanks, Richard. Am I
Yeah,
introducing myself?
I think, sorry, that should have been introduce yourself there.
I'm Brandon, and I run marketing at SetSale. We are really trying to pioneer a new way to track, measure, and incentivize sales teams, and we're seeing some pretty big productivity gains on the back of that.
And one of the cool parts about working with Brandon, aside from his amazing hair, which is just I always look for that right now, is Brandon's actually coming from a massively quantitative background. So Brandon, maybe just a couple seconds on your background of, especially some of the surveying work that you had done before. And I think that's a good lead in for us to talk about why the survey and then some of the cool results that we found.
Yeah, that sounds good. I've been in market research for about 7 years. I worked for one of SurveyMonkey's biggest competitors for 3 of them, and then was acquired by SurveyMonkey. And then, did a 7-year stint all between that. Learned a lot. I'm not a quantitative person by nature. I grew up in marketing, but it was really a good trial by fire, and I learned a lot about what makes good surveys and what makes bad surveys, and there really is a huge differentiation between the two. And hopefully we did a good job. I tried to bring the best of what I know to the table. One of the things we really focused on was, it's not really just about this macro level data, but you want to be able to drill down into specific segments and really understand what separates the best performing sales organizations from your average sales organization.
And I think what was interesting about this too, it's going to be a good point in time for us to look at, because we actually started the survey and one of the first questions was what % of your team was remote January 1st.
Yeah.
And what is it, what is it kind of today? So there's some interesting data to be found there. And we ran this survey over the course of March, April, and May, so collected a lot of results on this. And the full survey, we'll put the download link in the comment section, so you guys can go ahead and grab that if you're watching it. Lots of interesting insights, way more than Brandon and I will go through today. But I think the one that stood out the most when Brandon and I were talking about this was this notion of revenue confidence. Confidence, we asked organizations how confident they were feeling about achieving their revenue goals. Pretty standard thing. And I was surprised. Actually, how did you feel about it? It felt like it was surprising to see so many orgs were like, not feeling great about hitting that goal.
Yeah, it was much lower than I would have expected. I was expecting to see about 50% of organizations feeling somewhat confident about hitting the revenue goal. We got 20% of organizations were confident, and it was really when we started to drill into that, it made more sense, right? It's not really just about the uncertainty. In the end, it came down to one big thing, and that's how prepared were you for the water rising, right? Either you came prepared or you didn't, and it's not a big surprise, especially when we're looking at a lot of companies that are VC backed, that they weren't prepared, right? Because there's a lot you can do on the back of the funding, right?
$100 million, right?
Don't need those fundamentals in place all the time, and good fundamentals, are what really set companies apart.